Okay, guys, we are back on Comedy Cash with another wonderful episode of Crappy Decisions in History. Now, since we've had a few episodes talking about alcohol use, we will continue with that theme today. We go back early 2000s, 2002, I think it was, and back in Richmond, Kentucky, we had the happening bar scene, and we were lucky because we had an after hours bar where you could go and sit and you could shove pizza and pop down your throat for 3 hours when you had too much to drink. Or you could BYOB and take more to drink and just have a wonderful night till the next morning. So, I was down there with my friends, and we were with one particular friend. He had just broken up with his woman, so he was in a pretty rough situation. And he decided he was going to go out and drink it off. Well, this friend, we'll call him Brandon. Brandon decided that he was going to drink pitchers of beer by himself, okay? This guy was probably about 165 pounds soaking wet. And he decided he was going to have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 pitchers of beer. Okay? So, Brandon drinks his 5 pitchers of beer, and he is off the chain. Okay? He's falling all over the place. He's just like, whoa, he's out of it. All right? So we go to this after hours bar so Brandon can sober his butt up because he had to go home to his mommy and daddy's house, and we could not allow that in his current condition. So we go down the after hours bar. I go in. Another friend goes in. And we're inside waiting on Brandon. Nowhere to be seen. I'm like, oh crap, something's happened to Brandon. He done got himself in trouble, arrested, whatever, I don't know. So I go to the door, and I asked the guy, I said, hey man, had this friend coming in, don't see him anywhere, walked all around the bar, do you know what happened to him? He's like, when I explained to him and said who he was and described him, he's like, oh yeah, couldn't let that guy in. He was too drunk. I was too drunk. I said, everybody in here is too drunk. I said, this is a too drunk establishment. He's like, oh no, this guy was too drunk, so he's outside. So I'm like, oh crap. So I go outside, and I'm walking around the corner, and I see these 2 cops. And I'm like, oh crap. So I go up to the cops. I said, man, I'm looking for my friend. I described him. They're like, he's over there around the corner. And we're glad you're out here because we were just getting ready to go and arrest him for public intoxication. So if you can get him out of here, we'll let him go. I'm like, thank you. So, walked around the corner. Here sits Brandon. He's sitting on the side of the road with his head down between his legs. I said, Brandon, what you doing, man? He raised up. And he's like, oh my gosh, John, I'm so happy to see you. Jumps up to give me a hug, and I'm like, whoa, step back. Because I look, and Brandon had pissed all the way down his pants. We're like one whole left side of his leg was saturated. I think all the pictures came out at one time. And he was not hugging me with the wet leg. And I said, Brandon, I said, what the heck, man? Now I understand why that guy wouldn't let you in, because you pissed yourself. And he's like, oh, I need to go home. I said, okay. Got to go in to let my other friends know I'm going to take your butt home. So, here's the funny part. Every time Brandon walked, he squished. So he was like, walk, squish, walk, squish, walk, squish, squish, walk, squish, squish. And it was horrible, guys. I was laughing my butt off because he was just a big squishy sponge. So he's squishing all the way to my car, and I was like, whoa, don't get in my car like that. I made him take his shirt off and his jacket that was in the car, laid it down in the back of my seat, and he sat on that because I didn't want Brandon pee all over in my car. So I went in, told my friends, taking him home, come back get y'all because I was the designated driver and I hadn't really been drinking that. So I drove Brandon all the way back from the bar. It was about 45 minutes to his house. And I'm like, crap, what am I supposed to do? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I am not waking Brandon's parents up at 3 o'clock in the morning with Mr. Squishy Leg. So I did what any good friend would do. I got Brandon out of the car. He walked over to his steps on his porch. And I said, Brandon, I'll take care of this for you. I ran up, rang the doorbell, took off, and sped up on out of there. And let me tell you what, when I saw his mom coming outside and giving Brandon the 3rd degree, I think Brandon wished that them cops had taken him in because, woo, man, that he was in trouble. He peed on himself and got grounded. And that dude was 20-something years old. Got grounded, peed on himself, and couldn't go out the next weekend because he was all saturated and, heartbroken over his woman and stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch your alcohol intake. Do not end up like a Brandon where you got the squishy leg and you get grounded by your parents at 20-something years old. So, this is another Crappy Decisions in History episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. And at Comedy Cash, Chris really appreciates you. Keep those views up, those likes up, and we will keep making the episodes for you. John Crapper, out.